Hi guys, and welcome back to the mini adventures of Mama Tove with me, Mama Tove. So today I'm going to be going over my 4 tips for traveling to Disneyland and California Adventure with a large group, and by large I mean over 4 people. So let's get started. Okay, so the very first thing that I'm going to talk about today is making dinner reservations. Now, I know that it seems like kind of a no-brainer, but a lot of people don't realize that if you plan on dining at one of the fancier restaurants or one of the sit-down restaurants and stuff in Disneyland or California Adventure or even downtown Disney, it's a good idea to make your reservation, if you're planning your trip, at least 60 days ahead of time. Now, 60 days is an awfully long period of time, but for example, this previous trip that we just got back from, we had, I think, 8 people in our party. Yes, 8 people in our party, and we also had 2 children with us, our son and daughter. And I kind of at the last minute, we've eaten there before, but at the last minute I thought, well, it might be fun to go back to Goofy's Kitchen and do that. Goofy's Kitchen is a really fun character experience dinner buffet that you can go to, which is located at the Disneyland Hotel. And for this example, I'm using it because I waited till the last minute to call and find out if they had room for a large group of 8 people for Goofy's Kitchen, and it turned out that I had snoozed and loosed and we lost out on being able to do it because we far enough ahead of time. Now, you don't have to make the reservation like 60 days ahead of time, but that's what Disney recommends. And for your convenience, I will list the Disney dining reservation number below in the comments for you if you'd like to check that out. You can also access reservation availability by downloading the Disneyland app on your phone, which is free. And you can actually go in, look at menus, check out all the items that different places that they have available to eat at, and you can even make reservations from the app, which is really easy. So there's those options, and realistically, most of the food service places that you can eat at in Disneyland are all like kind of just go up and pay for your food and sit down kind of places, or snack places, that kind of thing. But if you do plan on eating at one of the more special places and stuff for dinner, some examples include the Carthay Circle restaurant, the Blue Bayou, even the Carnation Cafe on Main Street, and Goofy's Kitchen. And if you wanted to do the character breakfast experience, the Minnie Mouse breakfast at the Plaza Inn, that would also be something that you would want to do way ahead of time to make reservations for. Getting in with a small group of people, like 2 or 3 people, is not too hard to do. Even walk-ins with that many people sometimes is not too hard to do. But if you have a large group of people, especially multiple children, calling ahead and making a reservation with the Disney Dining reservation number and the cast members that are on there, very helpful, is probably in your best interest if you actually want to guarantee that you're going to get in to eat there. So like I said before, I've listed the number for the Disney Dining Plan in the comments below, so if you would like to check it out, that would be the number that you want to call. Okay, now moving on to the next thing on my list. It's one of my favorite things on this list, which is the Family Switch Pass and the FastPass distribution system. So I have actually talked about the Family Switch Passes in one of my previous videos, and which would be my traveling to Disneyland with babies and toddlers, which I will list the link below to that video if you'd like to go and look at that. But I'm going to elaborate sort of on those things. So the Fast Passes are something that pretty much everybody can use. You need your park hopper ticket. So here is the front and the back of the Fast Pass. Now, to use these, You just go to the front of whatever line of the ride that you want to go on. Usually the rides that qualify for fast passes are more popular, longer wait lines like Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain, the Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain, things like that, things that will have a long wait on them for the most part when it gets busy. Now you just go, you take your park hopper ticket, right next to the line for the attraction that you want to go to would have the FastPass distribution directly next door to it. You can see the little, they'll have a sign for it. You take your park hopper ticket, you put it in the little machine, and out pops the FastPass. Now, to use these, you just, on the front of it, it says whatever the attraction is that you're going to. I would say Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain, whatever. And it would give you a return time. So instead of waiting in line for the ride, you would come back within the hour-long window that they give it for you. If you come back after the ride or before or after the time or before the time that it says on your ticket, they will not let you into the ride. And if you've waited too long, you're kind of, you know, out of luck. So it's a pretty big window. Usually it'll say like from 1 to 2 p.m. or 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., something like that. You've got the hour window to come back and ride the ride, bypass the line, not have to wait, which makes it convenient because if you've got people that don't want to go on the ride or are not going to be going on the ride, or you've got kids that can't go on the ride because they're not tall enough, you've got it gets you in and out of the ride faster, and you're able to go back to your family and not make them wait for you. So it's awesome. Now, along those lines with the Family Switch Pass, which is one of my favorite things that Disney has ever done to make your vacation better in the park, which is the Family Switch Pass. Now, the Family Switch Pass is amazing because it allows you to, especially people, okay, the Family Switch Pass is for groups of people that have children with them, more or less. Children that are too young to go on the said ride that you would like to go on, like one of the big attractions, roller coasters, stuff like that. There's height requirements for those. So if you've got little babies or little toddlers that aren't tall enough to go on those rides yet, this is for that specific purpose. So as an example, you're 3 people in your party, or everybody wants to go on Splash Mountain, but you've got 2 children that somebody needs to stay with while other people go on the ride. So 2 people stay behind, 2 people go on the ride. When you get in line, you ask the cast member, can I have a Family Switch Pass? They'll either tell you, here you go, here it is, they'll give it to you, they'll have it on their person, or they'll say the very next cast member that you see, ask them, they will have it. So if that's the case, you get to the cast member, you say, I want a Family Switch Pass, they give it to you, and I don't actually have an example of it because you used all the ones that we had. They take them from you when you use them. So they basically, you get in line, you walk through the line and everything, just like everybody else. You're still in the line queue for it. You wait however long the queue is, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, 10 minutes. And once you get on the ride, you ride the ride, you get off, you walk back to the 2 people that were watching the children, you hand it to them, and they are able to go up to the cast member and hand it back to them. And they are able to go on the attraction that you just went on through the FastPass line without having to wait in line. So it basically makes it so that everybody is able to ride the ride at basically around the same time, and the little kids that are waiting around for everybody to ride don't have to wait that long for everybody because only so many people are going to wait in line, and then everybody gets to ride. It's a win-win situation. It's awesome, especially for people with children like I am. And you know, the kids can't go on the ride, but there's people that want to ride, and then it makes your waiting time a lot less. You're not like hanging out wondering, you know, like how long it's going to take for like 2 sets of people to stand in line for a 25-minute wait. It cuts the wait in half basically. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is something kind of silly, ridiculous. You'd think everybody would know not to do it, but it happens all the time, so I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed. If you are in a large group or even a small group of people and you're walking through Disneyland, large groups, it makes it worse basically. But if you have to stop, if you've got to wait for somebody, if for some reason at any point in time when you're walking through either one of the parks or walking to or from the park, you know that there's a huge amount of traffic of people walking behind you, in front of you, around you, and everybody's constantly moving. Now, if you decide you want to stop, it is in your best interest and everybody else's best interest for you to move your party off to the side, off away from the main path, like closer to like the walls and the everything around you, because if you don't, you're taking the risk that one of the 10 strollers that are strolling along right behind you, if you just stop abruptly in the middle of traffic, you're gonna get rammed in the ankles by a stroller, you're gonna get ran into by somebody because you stopped abruptly and everybody's walking close together. So I have been on both ends of that. I have stopped in the middle of all the people walking through Disneyland on Main Street and accidentally stopped and didn't even think about it, got rammed in the back of the ankles by a stroller. Now, I've also been on the other end where I had somebody stop in front of me and I could not stop and I accidentally ran into the back of them with my stroller. Now, it's a pretty common occurrence, so you just gotta try to be mindful about your surroundings. You know, you gotta just make sure that you're paying attention and aware of the fact that there's so many other people all around you constantly, and it's less likely to happen to you if you just are mindful of your surroundings and just, you know, aware of it. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with some sore ankles or, you know, or piss somebody off. So it's better for everybody if you just try to make yourself aware of it. And if you don't care about it, then you're one of those rude people. But yeah, just try to be aware of it. Make sure that you're, you know, being conscientious about everybody around you. Okay, and last but not least of my tips for you is if you're with a large group of people, it's okay. It's okay for you to split up. And I don't mean like you're on a vacation with a whole bunch of family members and you're like, see you later, we're gonna go do our own thing. I mean that like when you're in that big of a group of people, not everybody is gonna wanna do all the same things all the time. You know, you've got different age ranges, you've got different people that like different things, different interests and stuff. And so say for example, you've got children. They're gonna wanna go on like the small rides, they're gonna wanna go to Fantasyland, they're gonna wanna see characters and stuff. And so you do have to accommodate them, you know, you have older people, you know, maybe grandparents or parents and stuff, and they want to go get a bite to eat, but you're not hungry, or they want to go and sit down and people watch or something like that. They want to go on a ride. It really is like the best piece of advice I think that I can give you. When you're splitting up your party, it doesn't mean you're saying see you later, you know, whenever. I mean that, you know, you're like, okay, hey, we want to go do this. Hey, we want to go eat, you know. Two people want to go sit down and eat, but nobody else is hungry. So you say, okay, we're gonna go do this, you go eat, and when we're done doing each of that, we'll contact each other, we'll text, we'll call, whatever, find out where each other are, and we'll meet back up to go do something else. You know, you really are just able to cover more ground, you know, and everybody kind of gets to do what they want and experience all the things. They really get the most out of their trip if you're not constantly worried about like staying together and making sure that everybody else is happy. And when you take a big family trip to Disneyland, you know, isn't that what matters the most, is that everybody really gets the most out of their trip. So those are all 4 of my tips that I have for you today for traveling to Disneyland, California Adventure, Downtown Disney, the Disneyland Resort in general, with a large group of people, large family group usually. And if you have any comments or any questions for me about the video, feel free to comment below. I love to hear from you guys, and maybe you've got tips that you have for traveling to Disneyland with a group. Maybe you found things that are very helpful. I would love to hear some of those things. So let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys later. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying my videos. I really appreciate every single view and every single like, every single comment I will try to respond to. And you guys have a super magical day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Thanks for watching the mini adventures of Mama Tove. Please like and subscribe.